going on? What's good, good people? My name is Brennon. I'm here with
Yano.
And this is another episode of Show Me Sports. We're here in the stew.
Hey,
getting acclimated, getting adjusted. What do you think about the digs, man?
Hey, we upgrading.
Digs look nice. Looks nice in here. Shout out to our boy Lenny who offered us the space to try to upgrade our quality of
Thank
the
you,
product
Lenny.
that
Shout
we're
out
putting
to
out.
Lenny.
But yeah, we're just here to talk about sports yet again. The NBA playoffs are in full swing. We've got the NFL offseason popping.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff happening in the tennis world that actually made waves across the sports landscape. I don't think anybody expected that.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to talk about a bunch of those things. So
let's get into it.
Ready to go?
Let's go.
Anything you want to touch on first?
No. I hope everybody had a safe Memorial Day weekend, man. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves, be safe, and let's rock.
All right, let's get it, man. So first and foremost, I gotta shout out my Wizards. Shout out to my Wizards.
Oh my God.
We got the W. Thank you, God.
These guys still gonna get the gentleman's sweep. So
I'd rather be a gentleman than a not so respected person.
I think y'all still a rap, but
well, thanks for the vote of confidence.
I'm sorry,
but
man.
I'm going to celebrate today. All right. It is Tuesday, June 1st, 2021. The Wizards and the 76ers were fighting for the second round. It wasn't much of a fight, as Yano said.
Yeah.
The 76ers have been kicking our asses.
To say the least.
And we just been taking it. Russell Westbrook is still averaging his triple-double, but that I don't know what that means at this point. It's not leading to victories. Fortunately, Joel Embiid, fortunately for us, not so fortunate for him, he went out with an injury or a knee soreness or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And
I think he's taking the rest of the game off, but
that's what it is.
Yeah,
strategy.
He just want to rest us. They can finish y'all off in Philly.
Then donate us another game.
Hey,
let it be 6. Give us hope.
I'm let's just be realistic though. Like, okay, miracle happens. Y'all down 3, or y'all come back, y'all beat them.
Okay.
Then who you think you gonna beat the Bucks?
I think we have a better chance of the Bucks than the Sixers.
Hell no.
You think the Bucks are better than the Sixers?
They match up better than them. They will match up. I think the Bucks would be a tougher matchup for the Wizards.
I can see that. I mean, Embiid's not as athletic as Giannis, but he's just as volatile. He's just as good a scorer.
But I think Giannis impacts the game a little bit more because he can do more.
Right. I don't fear him as much beyond the arc as I fear Embiid.
I'm not even just talking about just as far as
like stretching the court.
I ain't even just talking about offense. I'm talking about he's a more complete player. Like if you look at the Heat series, they were putting Giannis on Jimmy Butler.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's just more of a game changer.
That's fair.
And I don't think
a lot more athletic.
Exactly. And I don't think it's the Wizards have enough to.
But then he might get hurt.
And then the
Wizards hit the Eastern Conference Finals.
And then you wake up.
Hey, that's what I said about Justin Fields.
Hey,
and then y'all ended up trading up and getting them. So
anything's possible.
Anything is possible. Shout out to KG. We got the dub. It was a good game. We ended up starting Gafford, which I didn't expect. But
shout out to Gafford. You know, he is an ex-Bulls player. I like DG. Free DG.
He played well.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting. He had a lot of highlights, good hustle, both sides of the ball. It was a good team win. It was needed. I mean, nobody wants to get swept in the playoffs.
No, not at all.
We weren't even supposed to make the playoffs. Let's be real.
Yeah, they got hot at the end of the year.
If you didn't know, I'm a Wizards fan. But we weren't supposed to be here. So I'll take one win and they can get us out the door. That's fine. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But
it's progress. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, so being objective, Philly projects to go to the next round. As much as it hurts to say, probably will end up facing the Bucks. And then who we got on the other half of that bracket? You got the Hawks and the Knicks. And then you got
which Knicks are down 3-1, and
I didn't expect that.
Me either. But the playoffs is about matchups, man. Like what I tell people, it's about matchups, and you figure out at that point in playoffs, you gotta. That's where people figure out what they need to improve on their game in the offseason. Julius Randle, I'm talking to you, son. I'm talking to you, son.
Yeah.
You gotta get a second move, son.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get it. You have to have a second. You have to have what is called a counter move.
Yeah.
Is what it's called.
I was looking at his stats for the series. I was like shocked. Like, dang,
you gotta develop a counter move. And you know what I mean? That's what separates good players and great players. Like, damn, this motherfucker got so many counters. Okay, I stopped this. Oh, he hit me with the, you know what I mean? Hit the fadeaways now. Like, now, you know, what can we do? Now we can't double him because he's passing out of the double team. But it comes with IQ, man. Yeah. Like, some of these guys are just good, you know, physically, but, you know, physically athletic, but they don't know how to play the game, bro.
Well, he probably got complacent, too. Like, for his travels thus far in the league, like this is his first time truly being that dude.
Yeah, no, he's improved. I'm not. When I say that, I wasn't trying to take a shot at him.
No.
It was just to say, like, you know,
I didn't take it that way.
Yeah, well, he's the leader of their team, and they're in the playoffs, and now you're down 3-1, and you're the face of their franchise basically right now. And what you have to do is, if y'all get eliminated, you got to go back to the drawing board and say, yo, why? And be honest with yourself and say, how? Because I wasn't productive enough because I didn't have any counter moves. I couldn't be as effective as I was in a regular season game, where in the regular season, anybody can win on any night. You just got to have the best players.
I remember seeing an interview. I don't know if it was Josh Hart or somebody else. It was a complimentary player. And they were basically saying, like, when they got into the off season, they trained their skill set. They weren't trying to expand. They weren't trying to grow or add to the arsenal because they had a specific
that's gonna be your role. That's gonna be what
and that's what I was saying about Julius is that he probably got accustomed to being secondary in his previous situations, and then he stepped into this situation, and they just having fun, like balling out, having fun, and he's not thinking like, okay, let me get my Kobe on, and like, you know what I'm saying? And this offseason will probably be that for him. Now he's like, oh yeah, I'm the dude.
It's a next level, and that's what the playoffs is. It's a whole nother season, but it's a whole nother level of intensity because each possession counts.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. Like I said, you know, if you're not hitting the right spots as far as like, okay, the double team is coming from the weak side. Okay, where's the ball supposed to go? You know what I mean? If you're not don't have a high IQ to naturally know where you're supposed to go, that could be difficult. And then also, you know what I mean, I don't know how many practices they've had, even though they've gelled as a team. You know what I mean, that's something that could be worked on. You know what I mean? But like you said, this offseason,
it'll come with time.
Yeah, it's gonna come.
I think it's all education for them. I mean, it's not like Trae Young has that much more experience than them, but he just
that guy.
He's just a chef.
That guy.
What
do he say? Ice trade again.
Ice trade again.
That's
my favorite celebration right now, bro.
Ice trade again.
Because it's so authentic. I didn't know he was that much of a trash talker either. He let him have it with the ball and with his words.
You know me. I like high school sports. I like basketball in particular. And I've been watching him for a little minute, man. And he's always had like that competitive fire. I wouldn't say he doesn't start the trash talk, but I've never seen him back down. You know, so if you get him excited, now he's in the playoffs now, so it's a state. Now you're gonna have to see me mano a mano for a few games. Yeah. And that's the thrill of it. You know what I mean? You really, you got to come see me.
He been cooking them too.
You got to come see me. You know, it ain't gonna be no one game, and then I'll see you in a couple weeks or whatever, or a month or two from now, and then we can rehash it out. I was like, no, you want these problems,
right? So projecting them to the next round, who is it in the other series that?
So I think one would play the winner of 1 and 8 will play the winner of 4 and 5, and then the winner of 2 and 3.
4 and 5, that would be the Hawks.
Hawks and Knicks.
Philly.
Yeah, so whoever wins out of that will play the number 1 seed, which would be Philly.
Yeah. And then you got the Bucks, who already swept.
Yeah, are waiting on.
I'm just trying to remember that other series. Who's in that other series?
That's the Bucks, and that's Brooklyn and Celtics.
Yeah. Oh well. We know how that's gonna go. I don't know how the Celtics got that game.
That one game?
Yeah, I shout out to Jason Tatum.
I was about to say, you don't know how. 50 points.
He got 50 points, but they got 3 guys that can get 50 points. That's what I'm saying. For him to get that game is an accomplishment in itself. They must have just been off that night.
But let's not discredit the Celtics.
Because we saw what they did the other night. Most recent game. Where they all 3 totaled 100 between themselves.
And that's as expected, though.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
That's as to what they can do.
Yeah.
That's what it's expected.
What they should
do. When you got Kevin Durant, you got Kyrie Irving, you got James Harden, you expected to blow up for 100 points. But let's not discredit the Celtics, man. No. They've had a pretty good season despite the fact of injuries.
Yeah.
And
if they had Jaylen Brown on the court, it would be a different story.
Whole different series.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not discounting that. I'm really just giving credit to the Nets. Like, I'm not saying it should have been a sweep, but
no, I don't.
It should have been a sweep.
No, I don't think so, man. And that's what I'm saying. They've had a good series.
Mm-hmm.
They're still a really good team.
Yeah,
they've been ravaged with injuries through the season, and they still had a pretty good season. But what I'm saying is, what I'm getting to is they're not a bad team. And Jason Tatum is a superstar, bro.
Yeah.
He is a superstar.
I agree.
So,
as is Russell Westbrook.
No.
Wait. Yeah, is Russell Westbrook not a superstar?
Now? Or we talking
about right now?
In the current, a superstar.
Today?
No.
Okay. That's where we part ways.
He's not a So what?
And he's with Bradley Beal. Who's the second guy now that Jaylen Brown's been hurt? Who's
Bradley Beal's a superstar.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm about to say you almost led the league in scoring. What the hell we talking about?
I agree.
All right, so you're telling me Bradley Beal?
He's just so quiet. That's why I had to think about it. But his play. Yes, his play.
So is he not the best player on their team?
Beal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is you're saying that Tatum is a superstar, therefore
he's he's in the beginning stages of.
Well, see, I already said he was gonna be top 5. I said that 2 years ago. No. And you kind of looked at me like, really? I was like, yeah, it's coming.
Listen,
I agree that he's a superstar. What I was saying was that he's going up against 3 superstars.
But that doesn't mean anything when you're a superstar, though.
True.
Because
I wouldn't have been surprised if they had got swept. And that's not a diss to him or the Celtics. That's credit to the other 3 guys on the other side.
And
that's all I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, I think that he's such a star.
Yeah, he wouldn't let them get swept.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
fair enough.
He's a problem.
Fair enough.
50 points ain't nothing to him. He's like 50 points. So all it takes is
the right KD's eye.
Man,
it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to see.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum is a problem, bro.
And like you were saying about Julius Randle, like Tatum's been adding those moves and expanding his arsenal every year. So, I mean, yeah. I would have loved to see the Celtics at full strength against the Nets. But I knew once they drew the Nets first round, it was going to be a bad matchup. Just because of firepower. The Nets going to be a bad matchup for everybody.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a lot of people are expecting them to come out the East. I don't think so if they don't play any defense, though. Because if they play Philly, Philly's healthy.
That's a big question mark, and we just seen.
And I'm not even saying if Joel. I'm gonna say if Joel Embiid is playing. I'm banging on the table, but I want to say that if Joel Embiid is playing against the Nets, I may take Philly, even though they have more stars.
They will have a shot, a fair shot.
It's just I don't think they even have nobody close to stopping Joel Embiid.
But threes count more than twos.
But if you're in foul trouble in the playoffs, or the game is slower, you know what I mean.
He shoots well from the line. Good point.
And you know what I mean. And they have a lot of 3-point shooting on their team. Is what. Just because he's and even then Joel Embiid can shoot threes. Only person that can't shoot on their team. Only person on their team that can't shoot threes is Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons, yeah.
They got Steph Curry shooting threes. They got Danny Green shooting threes. Yeah. You got Tobias Harris shooting threes.
That would be a good series. I think they could. It'll be a good series. I'm not going to just give that to the Nets. You're right. I'm not just going to give that to them. But Celtics, I would give that to the Nets. Yes.
What's up?
So we'll see how that projects out in the weeks to come. Still early, still first round. Most of the first round matchups are pretty much decided on the East West.
We got the Lakers. The Lakers playing tonight.
Might be in trouble.
AD is not playing.
I thought Chris Paul getting hurt was gonna open that door, but then AD got hurt, and then Chris Paul shrugged it off. He's looking like he's at least decent enough. So Game 5 tonight, that's gonna be interesting to see.
I low key got the Suns in 7, bro.
I can see that.
I was
gonna say 6.
No, I think.
What kind of LeBron gonna show up tonight?
You gotta have LeBron as dominant. You gotta have a 35-point night.
Game 6 versus the Celtics type of LeBron.
You gotta have like a 35-point night from LeBron tonight.
Minimum.
You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be tough. Because I think we still ain't even seeing Devin Booker really explode. Yep. You know what I mean? They're really focusing on him, but that don't bode well for me for the Lakers. You know, this isn't Golden State in the play-in.
AD has to be on the court. Or they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
To me, it's as simple as that. Like, nobody else on that team is gonna step up and replicate what he's been providing to them.
You know, and they got Kuz coming out, gonna be starting, I guess, Game 5. We'll see what happens, bro. But I don't think
talk about basketball IQ.
yeah, he don't have it. Shannon Sharp was on him the other day about
Getting
that.
on his head.
He was on him tough about that.
Yeah, I still like the Lakers, but it's been a 2-horse show the past 2 years, and I mean that's kind of how LeBron's rocked his whole second half of his career. It's like he's got to have at least one other superstar, if not 2, instead of having real depth and evenness across the roster.
Cleveland Cavaliers and stuff like that those days. That's not gonna work.
I would like to see them in the second round, but I kind of agree with you. I think they go this Game 5. They might get it in 6.
And to be honest, bro, even if they're healthy and looking at it,
the Suns might get in 6. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I think they can beat them. But I think the Jazz is the number 1 team in the West right now.
Yeah.
Even the record. But I think if you look at the way that they're playing, offense,
best team top to bottom.
They're complete, bro.
Yeah.
They're the complete best team.
And no one talks about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think even if they make it to the next round, the Lakers are the 8th seed, right?
7.
Oh, they did make the 7th seed, so they would be playing. Yeah, they're playing the Suns now.
Jazz are playing.
So they will play the winner of that Clippers.
The
Clippers. They'll play the Clippers or the Mavs in the next round because that's 4 and 5.
Right. Oh yeah. And then the Clippers finally turned it on. At least for one game.
Well, they beat them 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's it.
But the second game was, more of like, okay, this is what
the Clippers were supposed to be. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so that series is gonna be interesting too. Luka been lighting them up,
man.
And I know their defense should be way better than the Nets defense, but Luka been treating them like whoever, whatever, whenever.
I got a question for you. This is a question off the top.
Okay.
If you had to start a team right now with any player that's under the age of 25. You can take your pick, any one of them.
I'm biased.
Who you taking?
Tatum.
Any player under 25? That's who you starting with?
Tatum.
You don't want a point guard?
Tatum.
All right, I can't.
Well, I take a point. Give me them points.
Give me the points.
I'm biased.
Okay.
I'm super biased with that. It's not even. I mean,
not even close.
I was driving earlier today, and I was just randomly. I do Uber, and I was randomly like, yo, Nelly really put this city on. Like, it wasn't, we had Cedric the Entertainer, we had some people, but like, as far as like a global scale, at least national scale, Nelly really put this city on, man. And he's a legend.
Yeah, you had that moment while you was driving?
I randomly be thinking about the country grammar lyrics, and like, he really was rapping on that song. And the song was hot, and then just the rest of his career, like, he really did a lot of great things. And anybody that come out of St. Louis, we kind of have that same energy towards them. Whether it's professional sports, music, entertainment, whatever, like, we really get behind them.
Yeah.
And it's not even, like, on purpose. It's just, like...
Y'all support him.
Yeah, like, and that's how I am with Tatum. Like,
okay.
He just, like, same with Bill. Like, I don't want him to leave Washington because I'm a Wizards fan, and he's from St. Louis, so y'all stay together. Make it work. Pay him some money, get him another star.
He want a ring,
whatever.
bro.
I don't care.
He want a ring, dog.
I don't care. Suffer. For the cause.
For your cause.
For my cause. But yeah, I take Tatum because I think he, like I said, he is in that mode of Kobe. He's open to adding to his arsenal. He's got obviously he's naturally gifted, and he's got the mindset. He's a dog. Like, I don't know what else you could ask from him.
Yeah.
Now, if you're just talking about points, yeah, you got Booker, you got other guys that can go toe-to-toe with him, or guys that might be more versatile than him. But as far as a leader of a team, I think he could be that dude. So that's my bias as well as objectively as I could say. Like, it's a combination of both. Who are you taking?
Under 25. Damn. I put myself on the spot. Cause I got a list.
It's a nice little list.
But
yeah.
like, cause I could do point guard, I could do like small forward, whatever. So if we went back to back, like I could come up with a list. But if you put like a gun in my head, like pick right now,
it's somebody that stands out more.
Man, I think who I couldn't really pass on as a point guard going further. Who's somebody knowing that's like what the game is transitioning to. I probably would take somebody like Ja Morant.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I think he's
explosive.
Explosive. But no, not even that. But he's a wizard, man. Like you could tell that he's only 21, but the game is
nice in a wizard uniform.
The game is already so slow for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's only going to get better.
Honestly, when I saw him in college, like I thought he was more just a highlight machine. I didn't realize how strong his game was, how well-rounded his game was, and his IQ. Like, so to see him get the Grizzlies to the point that they are, I'm like, same thing with the Wizards. Like, y'all wasn't supposed to be here.
He
willed them there,
bro. He's so nice that when they drafted him, they let Michael Conley go, let him walk.
Yeah, I believe.
And this ain't no regular old point guard, veteran point guard. Like, Michael Conley is still a top level floor general, and they just like, all right,
yeah, whatever.
I see something in him that's just like different.
Yeah, I think we all seeing it.
But actually watching him go at Michael Conley in the playoffs is I like it.
Entertaining.
I like it. He trying to tear him apart.
Yeah, just to let you know, this is why you gone.
Yeah, because they ain't going to, even if Memphis loses, it ain't because of Ja Morant.
Yeah.
We're going to let that be known.
Have you kept up with Denver and Portland at all?
They play tonight, and Dame looks like he has asserted himself as, pretty much has let them know, then put Denver on notice, like, big game Dame in the house.
Yeah.
And,
I'm not going to die easily.
Yeah, Jokic and Aaron Gordon and Who's the other guy? They got Aaron Gordon. Oh, Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
They better bring it tonight.
I'm kind of waiting on him the same way you waiting on Book to go a little harder. Like, I know he has similar capabilities to like explode, especially with the way that roster is constructed. I'm like, why can't he get 30, 40 points a night? Do they have the reins on him, or is it running more through Jokic?
I think that's more so what it is. And right now, they have to lean on Jokic because he's like a point center, you know what I mean? With Murray out, they kind of got to run the offense through him.
True.
But, he's talented, bro.
Yeah.
The Bulls was looking at getting him when he came out, what was it, like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago now. But I like Michael Porter. I like him a lot.
Okay. So, I mean, that's all of the playoff matchups I can think of. We touched a little bit on everybody. Clips, Mavs, Lakers, Suns, Jazz, Grizz, Denver. Okay. Let's transition. Sharp transition. Unless you want to say anything else.
I'm ready
start
for
hitting the
NFL.
Tonight, you said the games tonight?
I'm ready for them.
Oh, yeah. I am too. We're going to touch a little bit on the NFL. It's the off season. Nothing too major going on other than rumors and talks and some kind of stories
OTAs
drafted out of. Yeah. You want to talk about him, or you want to?
You can go ahead, bro.
I don't want to talk about him. But y'all know who we talking about. We're not going to talk about him. But we are going to talk about Julio. He's been garnering a lot of interest from the fans, I should say. from the media, because we don't know what teams are really interested other than who we've been projecting.
The Seahawks are interested.
They have said that they're interested officially,
yeah.
or is that what the media is saying that he should go?
Reports. Ian Rappaport reported yesterday that the Seahawks are interested, and I know that the Titans are interested.
They've had their name in the hat.
AJ Brown's had his name in the hat.
Oh yeah, AJ Brown.
Shout out to AJ Brown.
That was a funny video.
Hey, look, if I'm Julio and I see that, like, I don't know, I like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Do we like Tannehill though?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got Derrick Henry in the background. Didn't they go to college? Didn't they play at college together? When they both from Bama together?
Time?
They had to be. Or at least Julio was coming out right.
I think Henry was after.
Yeah, he had to come right after Julio.
Yeah.
But why not?
Oh, I'm not saying it wouldn't work. I'm just saying if he has a choice, you're going to choose Tannehill, you're going to choose Russ. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm like, Tannehill.
I'm going to Tennessee.
Tennessee will probably be
easier. You're
not getting doubled.
Yep.
You got the strength of the run game. I understand that.
You got AJ Brown on the other side.
So he's gonna have more open looks.
You ain't got to question who on the other side. I mean, you got DJ Metcalf on the other side, but I feel like
the run game
is solidified.
Yeah, and that defense is ass.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You go in the NFC. The only team you got to worry about is in my mind, if I'm Julio and I'm going like looking over there,
you got the Browns over there. You got the Chiefs.
Yeah, but it's no more Tom Brady.
No, that's a good situation. I'm biased. I've seen some rumblings of the Raiders throwing their names in the hat for a second round pick. Yeah, for Julio. I think that makes sense knowing our roster. I'm a Raiders fan.
Yeah.
Henry Ruggs, he was a little nicked up last year, so we didn't get to see his full potential. Mm-hmm. And I just don't know if he's a number one in that mode. John Brown is the other receiver right now. So,
wow.
Why not throw Julio in that situation? Josh Jacobs, 1,000-yard back. Derek Carr, borderline top 10 QB.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that working, but I know Julio's trying to win now, and the Raiders are a little bit further away than the Titans are. So, I don't know.
Another team I saw that I guess was interested because I saw comments from Claypool for Steelers. He said he wouldn't mind having. He said he would welcome Julio with open arms.
The fact that Claypool is speaking from that perspective is kind of funny because of Juju's journey as he tried to test the market and ended up picking his bags up and going back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and
now Claypool is kind of like, oh well, and like, just don't worry about him.
Yeah,
you come, you come, and he'll have to just whatever, you'll figure it out. Yeah, but you and me,
yeah,
and maybe whatever he's doing, and I don't know. Ben, we saw what Ben was last year.
Yeah.
So I would put that below all the other options.
Yeah.
Even though he got his numbers, like he did not look right.
No, not
the Ben of old, like that used to be slinging that mug. Nah.
I mean, he's 38, 39, bro.
I get it. Like, and he had his elbow hurt, and
he's been through all the injuries.
Yeah, smacked around his whole. I get it.
Been through the ball. I don't know how many times he's probably thrown the ball in his career.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Julio gets it too.
I'm not choosing them as a selection if I'm Julio, but I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
You say they're trying to get him to the AFC?
If I'm him, I would go to the AFC. And what
about the 49ers?
You don't know who's going to keep throwing you the ball.
Don't matter.
It does.
It's the same situation as the Titans.
No, you know who's throwing you the ball.
Yeah, but is Tannehill that much better than Trey Lance or Jimmy G?
I'm not saying about their talent, but...
And their run game is just as strong. They don't have one guy like Derrick Henry, but they have just as strong a run game as the Titans do.
His record is now proving itself. He ain't just regular quarterback. Like, this is a playoff winning quarterback. Playoff
Tannehill?
Yeah.
So is Jimmy G. I'm just
He
saying.
ain't even healthy half the time.
Let's keep it a buck.
Is he gonna be healthy? Am I getting a healthy Jimmy G? Am I getting Jimmy G that shuts down in the playoffs? What Jimmy G am I gonna get?
I'm getting a national championship quarterback.
National championship quarterback. Okay. Okay.
Either way, whatever you want to do. Shout out to Cassidy. Whatever you want to do.
Oh,
dog. That you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the interview.
The mug was so funny. I don't know. It's plenty of options out there. They floated out. The Falcons floated out that they want a first round pick. I think everyone can agree that at this point in his career, and then just coming off of injury, first round pick is a little steep for this market. Receivers are becoming more a dime a dozen out of the draft and in free agency. So even as good as Julio is, lock Hall of Famer, what ballot still remains to be seen as he plays out the rest of his career. That first round pick is just a little steep. So if people are willing to throw a second round pick in, inherit the rest of his contract, whatever the Falcons are willing to eat, and then they balance that out, I think it'll be some team. I think it's a couple of teams out there that will vie for his services.
Not a couple, a lot. You're still getting a top 10 receiver, even if he just as long as he's on the field.
I didn't realize he hadn't really been off the field before last year.
Yeah.
I thought he had been out missing games. He'd been nicked up, but he wasn't missing games.
No.
And so that's kind of a plus. He might have been calling it in last year because he knew he wanted out. He's like, okay, y'all got the young buck here.
That's why it didn't make sense, but it did make sense. When we were going through the draft earlier, I don't even know. In my mind, bro, I was saying, why would you draft a replacement for Julio, or even consider drafting Pitts if he wasn't walking out the door, if you wasn't letting him go? You know what I'm saying? It just did not make sense because it's like you got so many other holes to fill. But if you were letting him go, then it made sense because we got a huge void we're gonna have to fill regardless.
Would you consider Calvin Ridley a replacement for Julio?
I don't think
because you pointed out to me, I didn't realize he had been in the league for 3 years, going on 4.
He's the number one receiver.
Yeah.
He's a legit number
one receiver. So when they got him, did you think, that could have really been the beginning of phasing Julio out?
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't see him coming back.
I look at it like this. With the Cardinals, we don't know what's going on with Fitzgerald. More than likely, he's going to retire. I don't see him playing anywhere else. He ain't said nothing. This late in the offseason, he's usually said something by now, the past 3-4 years. We see they roster of receivers.
AJ Green.
He's not going to play above any of them with how he's been playing in the past couple of seasons. Like, he converted to the slot, and then he just got phased all the way out the offense. So I think it's kind of the same thing with Julio, except Julio feels like he has much more to offer.
Yeah.
He could stay there and be second fiddle. Hey, y'all work Pitts in, let Ridley take the number one role, and I just eat and get what I can get, and let's see if we can get back to the bowl. But he wants the money, and he wants another opportunity to be the number one.
Yeah, I think he still has a lot.
I think that's more on him than it is on the Falcons. I don't think the Falcons want to get rid of him.
No, but it's not about the money. It's not about the money. I don't think them getting
Pitts was them saying we want to usher Julio out the door. I think that was saying yo, you're eventually going to leave, whether you leave voluntarily or we ship you out. We want to make sure it's kind of like the Jordan Love thing with Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know.
And I get it because it's a business, bro. You gotta understand. Hey, they only got capped their salary. It's only a certain amount of it that they're gonna be able to use. It's only a certain amount. Thinking about it, really is on the uptick, the upswing. Now I got this young guy who's balling out. Pro Bowl receiver now. That's basically supposed to be backing you up. That now I'm gonna have to pay him probably $100 million in the next year or two. So I can't keep your money on the table and pay you, and you're about to come on the downside. In 2 years, you're going to be 35. He's going to be 26, 27.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But so I'm saying you think that's more the Falcons pushing him out?
Yeah, in a way, because if you're not renegotiating the contract to say, hey, I'd rather keep your services at this rate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Falcons haven't been. You don't think they've made that gesture?
No, I think they got so much money allocated.
Because Julio got on the air whether he knew it or not. He was the one that said, "I'm out of there."
But
that sounded more like
But he already probably knew what was up. Meaning, like, okay, they're not getting rid of Matt Ryan. He's already got a lot of money that nobody gonna take it all.
But then that's what I say about Larry. Like, they brought in Christian Kirk, even though he didn't pan out to be what they thought he was yet. Then they brought in DeAndre Hopkins. Larry wasn't like, okay, let me catch on with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but that's a different
Green Bay, or he didn't try to go to a contender, and he was at that point in his career 2 years ago.
But,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you got to still look at the roster that's constructed around him at that time, though. Fitz didn't have
no Super Bowl contender roster.
Yeah, but look, Fitz didn't have a quarterback that was locked into a big deal at the same time as him either.
Fair.
Is what I'm saying. They pretty much was married to each other on that deal, but it's like, if for us to progress and move on, we have to let one of you go.
And Matt Ryan got a lot more
weapons to still work with.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, a lot more years of his prime.
Exactly. Yeah. And quarterbacks last until they're 40 now. Right. Okay, so now we can let him go.
Fair.
Yeah. I feel like that's what happened.
So the Falcons, they it was kind of like the cold shoulder. Like, we're not gonna tell you to leave, but we're gonna just turn and look this way.
Like the writing's on the wall. You like walk in the door and like, you know what I mean, you at work and you see all of this stuff on the wall. Like, all right,
we love you, Julio.
Yeah, it's like a retirement, a surprise retirement party you walk into. Like, damn, what's going on? You know,
I'm retiring.
Like, what?
That's fair. I don't know. I like to see him with the Raiders. That's selfishly. But to your point, I think the Titans make the most sense. Unless, what about the Chiefs?
They got the money, you know what I mean? But
talk about not having to be the number one option, not having to get double coverage. Tyreek on this side, Travis Kelce in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of teams out there.
The best quarterback in the league.
Look, it's a lot of teams out there, bro, that he can go to and be like.
It's going to be interesting, man. It's definitely going to be interesting to see where he go. We're going to shift gears real quick. We spoke about quarterbacks in newer situations. A lot of quarterbacks have been rumored to move around this offseason. None have yet that I can think of. You got Deshaun Watson. Obviously, he wants out, and he's probably going to end up out after these allegations get resolved. You got Russell Wilson in Seattle, which I still think that's a crazy. I never wanted to see him leave Seattle, but to hear him as upset as he was, and to hear the front office ain't really trying to accommodate him, that's just crazy to me. But not all the way off the table yet. There's still some places that he may entertain going. Then you got Aaron Rodgers, the most obvious and the most dominating media story.
I think he's out, NFL.
Bro. He's probably going to be gone.
I think he's out.
So do you see any teams in particular that these guys could go to?
I don't think Deshaun's going to be gone this year. I think he's going to be on the roster until the season starts. Hopefully some of that legal stuff is done. But the thing is, you know, OTA is about to start, and like you got to think who's running with the ones. If it's not him, who's
Davis Mills
versus Tyrod Taylor?
Hey, I like Tyrod Taylor.
I know, but that's a real, you know, a QB matchup.
I think they're gonna sign somebody else too.
I'm pretty sure.
I forget, but yeah.
But I think that Deshaun's gonna be on the roster at least to the end of next year. Then whatever happens from there. But I don't see them.
They're gonna have to pay him.
But I don't see him just letting him go for nothing. True. You're still talking about a top 5 quarterback.
And then he's probably still subjected to the commissioner exemption list and having to serve his suspension, however long that is.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. So that's what I feel like is gonna happen. He's probably gonna miss a couple games, come back, miss the playoffs. They're probably gonna then try to trade him. Build up his value back, let him play a few games.
Or maybe the middle of the season they try to deal him. Just based on like team needs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see that what's happening. It's very unfortunate. Very.
I could see him going to like Washington or like Carolina, some places like that. I've heard him rumored to Philly too, but I don't know. I have a little more faith in Jalen Hurts than they. For him to only have had a couple games last year to start, I think they're going to give him a longer leash.
Yeah. I think he deserves one, though. You know what I mean? I think that he came in, he, progressed, got a little bit better. He didn't have, a fully healthy roster himself. The defense was atrocious. He got actual NFL receivers, got a few of them. I think that, some of them stay healthy and progress. Jalen Reagor, talking to you.
We going to see.
But, he got Devontae Smith over there, so at least he's going to have, a threat to get downfield and actually do some things. So
yeah, get some separation on his own. What about Russ? You think he stays in Seattle?
Yeah.
I hope he does.
I don't see him going anywhere else, bro. I don't see him going anywhere. Like I said, the only person I think going to get traded, which I'm almost...
Aaron Rodgers?
I think it's about 80% chance he's gone, bro.
Where's he going?
I keep seeing the Raiders in my head. I think the Raiders or the Broncos.
Everybody is telling me Raiders.
I think the Broncos makes the most sense if I'm him.
Same.
Because you can trade, they do a quarterback trade. You send Locke over there with Love. They have a little QB battle it out.
Yeah.
He comes over there. Or you keep Locke to be his backup,
That's what I would do.
Just, mentor him a little bit. Hey, if you win, if he beats Aaron Rodgers out as your QB, you win, because now you got Aaron Rodgers as your backup quarterback.
What a crazy thought.
But
that's a good point.
But I'm saying, so you have it's no lose.
It's a win-win.
Well, win-win situation,
Unless you're a Raiders fan, then it's a lose-lose.
Yeah, and then you see them 2 times a year like we did.
I've been getting that rumor from a lot of people that he goes to the Raiders. He's put that on his wish list as one of the teams he wants to go to. But I think that for their situation and what he desires is to win. It's kind of a similar situation with Julio. The only difference is in this scenario, it's because the Raiders are giving up too much.
Could he go to Pittsburgh for Big Ben?
Nah,
you can't do that.
Nah, I don't see them doing that. I think for what they went through this offseason with Big Ben, they wouldn't be willing to go through the extra headache of trying to put that trade together. And it's just he's going to command too much, even at his stage. He's going. His asking price is going to be too high for teams to give away quarterbacks that are already competent, top 10, top half QBs. Like you trade him to a team that the quarterback is like bottom half, because it's just going to be easier.
49ers?
No.
He can't go to the 49ers?
No. They wouldn't have drafted Trey Lance.
True.
They wouldn't have traded up.
True. I forgot. My bad.
Yeah, like they
I'm just trying to figure out a spot that'll make sense.
The Broncos make the most sense to what you're saying.
With that window.
Because you got to think, Vaughn was hurt last year. So now he's back healthy. You got Bradley Chubb on the other side. The defense is solid.
You got your corners.
You got Melvin Gordon, which everyone keeps forgetting. Melvin Gordon's there. You got Cortland Sutton coming back healthy. Like that team is ready.
You got Noah Fant.
Just put Aaron Rodgers in there. That's a already playoff team, borderline division champs. If we being real, just depends on what the schedule shapes out to be. I don't know their schedules. Theirs are the Chiefs
schedule or whatnot.
But they could beat the Chiefs. I don't see why not. The defense is going to put them over the top because the Chiefs' defense.
Actually, they can't because Patrick Mahomes said he wants to go 20-0.
Oh well, we'll see. We'll see, Patty.
Patrick Mahomes says he wants to go 20-0.
We'll see, Patty. And he answered the question I saw this morning. They asked him about Aaron Rodgers going to the Broncos. What he think? He's like, "Oh, it would be great, competitive." And it's like, man, you BSing. You don't think he want to see him? He don't want to see Aaron Rodgers, bro. Not with that team. They give them the blues already. The Broncos make it hard for the Chiefs already.
Some people like competition. You know that, right?
Okay, but you don't.
You think if
I'm not saying
I want to go beat up on Drew Lock every other 2 times a year. I want it to be competitive, bro.
I get that, but I'm saying when I say he don't want to see him, I'm saying it's gonna be a problem for him.
But you gotta understand, Patty Mahomes is with all the smoke is what you ain't understanding.
Okay.
He just said he want to go 20-0. He don't give a fuck who it is.
It'll be nice.
He don't care if it's a goddamn monster over there. Look,
it sounds sweet.
Aaron Rodgers,
Go ahead and go to the AFC West, Aaron. I mean, well, as a Raiders fan, I take that back. I don't know what we're talking about. We're gonna shift gears. What do you think about your Bears, man? Y'all got Justin Fields.
Yeah.
He said, I want to win. I want to be the starter. If you're not competing to be the starter, then
why
are you here?
So why are we here?
He's coming with his own fire, his own swag. Andy Dalton is probably still tending to his hurt feelings that he was promised the QB1 job, and then they traded up to draft Fields.
And they came out this week or a few days ago and said it's going to be a competition. Like, it's going to be a competition. They're not going to just, like, give Justin Fields the job. But if he's just better than him, they're going to let him play. They're going to let him play. And that's what all Bears fans wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Is the fact that they're not going to bullshit around with the situation. You're not going to, until he's ready, da-da-da-da. We're going to just, all right, if he's ready, we're going to unleash him. We're going to let him go. And that's all we wanted to hear because,
my friends from Chicago have been very, like, it's almost like they won a Super Bowl, or like they won a playoff game. That
because he brings
that your front office
confidence.
would be that willing to be that invested in getting him was like a win in itself for a lot of fans.
Because he had to
Who
realize
historically seen y'all pass on QBs and fail with QBs and just make dumb front office decisions. Like,
this is the only man, bro. I've been you know me. I've been a fan of the Bears for a long time. We've never drafted a quarterback and developed him. Like, whether they got Trubisky was the first
Rex
time.
Grossman?
I don't think they developed him, is what I'm saying. And they've never got a guy who was like, okay, we're gonna let him learn underneath someone, homegrown somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like how Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre.
Yeah.
How Patrick Mahomes sat behind.
I never had that
Smith.
luxury, man. It was never that guy that was.
Well, what about when you got Jay Cutler? Why?
True.
They went
True.
8 years without drafting a quarterback, or however long he was here without even drafting one. That doesn't make sense.
Could he?
You know what I mean? And then it's the most important job on the field.
Yeah.
But we're not investing in it. So to us, it never was like, when we get in these playoffs and these situations and we're in a tough matchup or whatever, it's because the quarterback is incompetent.
What do you think got into? Who you think got into their ear, and like really convinced them to change course? You know what I mean?
I mean, you got to look at the way the season ended last year. You were 8-18. You made the playoffs despite all of the bullshit. Like, as far as like how terrible it was of a season, you still made it to the playoffs and barely lost with Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback. Yeah. So it's like, if we change the quarterback, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In theory,
I mean, that's how we think. But I'm saying for them, you think that's just that was the light switch moment finally?
No, it really wasn't. I think that it was more so like it was more so of understanding that their leash is shorter. And if they don't fix it,
they're going to be sitting next to Jay Cutler.
They're going to be, doing a podcast like us, talking about how they used to run the Bears.
Yeah, the good old days in Chicago.
The Pace and Nagy show. For real.
Hey, get him.
Speaking of, though, while we talking about the Bears, I don't want to get too off topic, but it's rumors that the owners are thinking about selling the team.
I just heard that yesterday.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you were talking about an original 8 team of the NFL, and so it's huge. But it's rumors that the McCaskies are trying to sell.
I wish I had the money.
Yeah, but the thing is, oh my God,
bring them to St. Louis.
Oh shit! See, you killed the dream already. But the amount of money that.
But that's a great investment. To have a sports franchise and a professional sports league.
But I think what's going on though is a lot of outside owners, or a lot of owners and a lot of fans and a lot of people around the NFL have been pressuring because the field is trash, bro. The Soldier Field has been around for over 100 years. They haven't updated it or anything like that. Yeah. A lot of players get injured there, and so they always criticize coming to Soldier Field. So
miss kicks there.
Yeah. Come on, man. Double doinks. Goddamn Robbie Gold.
Sorry, bro.
No, that wasn't Robbie Gold. That's who we missed.
Cody Parkey.
That was Cody Parkey. But
my bad, bro.
No, you good.
We have sports-related trauma when it comes to our fandoms. Some horrific seasons and game endings. So I didn't mean to trigger. Your trauma.
That was a moment right there, man, dog.
You mentioned field conditions.
You know what's crazy is I remember watching that game against Philly. And Trubisky brought us back down the field 2 times.
Yeah.
He came down and scored.
That's why when everybody talks about Trubisky, I'm like, okay, he's not Aaron Rodgers, but the dude is a good quarterback.
I never said he was trash.
Not you, but a lot of Bears fans and people in general, like, he's not horrible.
Yeah, we've had worse.
And he should have started all last year.
You remember Craig Krenzel?
Wow. Is that Ohio State?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Yeah. Shout out to Flash. Slash.
Man, it's been rough.
I did want to mention before we wrap, you talked about Andy Dalton potentially having to compete. I started thinking about media availability. I was like, man, he interviewed real strong when they asked him, oh, what do you think about starting and this? He's like, they brought me in to be the quarterback one.
Yeah.
He's very adamant about that. He was raised. He's like, I'm going to defend it and I'm confident. I want to know what he would say now. If he would interview now.
You know, I watched a few of the press conferences afterwards or whatever, and Nagy said he called him right after. It was like, you know, their intentions weren't to go in and get a QB.
Of course.
It was just because of how the board fell.
Absolutely.
So
they thought Fields would be gone.
Absolutely. So I think
I say that because
they were being honest, but then again, they probably didn't know that they was going to have a shot at him.
Yeah. But no, I say that because a lot of times when athletes have favorable conditions, they interview very well. They're open to the press. They laugh and joke and kick back. Mm-hmm. But then when you're losing or when something happens like that's not favorable, it's kind of a ghost town. Mm-hmm. And sharp transition before we wrap. Like we heard the news recently with Naomi Osaka withdrawing from the French Open because she originally didn't want to be available to the media to protect her mental health. She felt like it was something that could take away from a player's confidence or that could make them distracted from what their goal is of going out on the court. Obviously, that's an individual sport versus a team sport. But she caught a lot of flack for that from certain media outlets and from some fans who felt she should be obligated to do whatever she's asked to do for the media. So I guess my question is, like, should players keep the same energy for when things
are going glorified,
when things are going well and they're celebrating, they're winning, versus when they struggle? Or should they have the freedom to choose when or not they want to speak to the media? And that's in any sport, really.
Yeah, but that's a wonderful question though that you asked, Keys, is because mental health is such a big thing. It's very prominent right now. I think a lot of people have to be more kind and empathetic to people's mental health, and we never know what anybody else is going through or what type of things are going through their heads. So I don't want to be the one getting up here saying, oh yeah, I feel like they should or they shouldn't, because there's days that I don't feel like I want to be as bothered or want to be engaged, but it's things that I still have to do. But being an athlete, I don't know how serious that is. We need to make it an obligation to talk to us. But what is sports without the connection to athletes on knowing how they feel or this and that,
especially in this age with social media. Like
so
it's so much more accessible.
For
me, I'm tough. Like I agree with her point of protecting yourself, but then I also look at the flip side, and as a tennis fan, I'm looking at the standpoint of how to grow the game, particularly for like certain communities that aren't as apt to play tennis at younger ages. She's Haitian Japanese, so she represents Japan, but she appeals a lot to the black community as well, black population worldwide. And if you look on tour, there's not that many black players competing at a high level, although the number is starting to go up, especially on the women's side. So for someone like her who has the platform she has, is really the best player in the world, whether she's ranked number one or not, like when you choose not to speak, it kind of takes away from expanding the game.
The power.
Like even if you're speaking on stuff like George Floyd and like, you know, race riots and other things that have been happening in culture, like you have that platform and that voice to speak to an audience and from a perspective that, you know, someone like LeBron doesn't. or someone like you know, whoever else doesn't. So
yeah,
I'm kind of conflicted with it. I'm glad that she's willing to take the stand that she is. She's always been outspoken, even though she's soft spoken.
Yeah.
But it just raised an interesting question, especially being a former journalist, to see like, okay, this is how professional athletes are looking at the media.
Yeah, it's a lot of athletes that don't really particularly like the media.
The media.
Like I know Kyrie Irving and like Kevin Durant, they've had issues with the media. I did, since we are talking about mental health and stuff like that, before we get out of here. One last thing I had was reading about, you know, Dak Prescott had, you know, him and I don't know if him and Hayden Hurst are setting a foundation for mental health. You know, he had came out last year and was talking about he dealt with depression. You know, he lost his brother. Brother, I think his brother committed suicide. Forgive me if I'm wrong. This off the top, like I just remember.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, his brother, you know, died. But mental health is a lot of more athletes are speaking up about, you know, having that privacy or having, or you know, it's the other side to being an athlete. And, you know, as people in media or having voices, we just got to all make sure that we, you know, being empathetic and kind with our words and how we're talking about other people, you know, because people, you know, have to go home at the end of the day and, you know, we don't know what they're dealing with. So
I agree. So shout out to all of the fans that have been cooperative at these games. Not the fans that have been running onto the court and throwing stuff at athletes like they're animals in cages.
Look, I'm a Tristan Thompson type of motherfucker.
Yeah,
I'll follow you home.
I'm Ron Artest.
You going in the crowd.
We going in the crowd, baby. I ain't having it. But
yeah, that's what Tristan Thompson said. He was like, motherfucker spitting on me, I'm following you home.
Why not? Hey, that's assault.
Yeah.
So I can use the right and left to defend myself.
Yeah.
But that's another episode of Show Me Sports. We thank you all for your time. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe on the Show Me Sports YouTube channel. Check us out on other social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram. We do have a Twitter popping, but it's not really popping yet, but it's going to be popping.
When y'all pop. Y'all got to get on that so we can get it popping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So any other things you want to add, man? I know, man, Lenny trying to get us out of here, man.
Nah.
Go get something to eat.
Lenny want us here. We in the stew.
We in the stew.
But no, man. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to y'all.
Yep. Until next time. Peace.